I noticed after I'd done the entire narration, I just thought I should probably mention this is not my review. I've never played this game at all. I don't intend on playing any games of this kind, but it's become a bit of an inside joke between all of us. So I decided I'd narrate the entire thing, put some of Smeaj's gameplay in the background. He doesn't actually have any Motorsport Manager gameplay, so I'm just going to use his F1 gameplay. So yeah, yeah, enjoy, and sorry if you find this weird. Hello guys, Smeaj here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Motorsport Manager, so let's get right into it. As you can tell by how many hours I have in such a short space of time, which for me is insane, this is addicting. Partially of course because we have been unsaturated in this topic on PC for such a long time with items of high quality, but it doesn't mean I don't love the game. I could spend my entire life saying about the positives, and I could not recommend this game more. But I want to discuss a few of the negatives so that the devs can hopefully listen and fix these things. The cars feel so big when you are racing against people. You literally can't overtake in so many places against a slower car that it gets incredibly frustrating. And no, not tracks like Singapore or Monaco. Hey, please add this track if you could too. Smiley face. But places with massive overtaking areas in cornerish sections in which you go down the inside, but the driver will back out because either they'll touch the side pods with their racing partner or go within 1 meter of a curb. Dare I say more than turn 1. Frustrating to say the least, and something I think is just put in for safety of the game to avoid glitches in the earliest release of the game. Ideally I want this to be updated and put in. Cheers if you can, devs. And the other element of that is, of course, when it goes wrong, crashes, as you may know them. I've done several career sessions on this season. I've done several career seasons on this game, but I've been counting in my latest season in the WMC, which I've done 13 rounds. There has been just 5 retirements, 2 of which mechanical related. Overall, a healthy kind of number for this, in my opinion, should be about 15 to 20. Involving also a few more times where drivers collide, front wings, and of course pit repairs, or stick out and lose a few seconds. And in GP 2 and 3, maybe increase the rate of crashes. That leads me on to another thing that could go on to frustrate me. When I get later into the careers I've done, are the drivers in lower formulas and those generated in the scouting facility ever world-class 5-star potential or near? Because I'd love a system where you could run a 50 odd years into the future and see the very best breed of talent in amazing drivers. But then again, I'm not even fully into this aspect yet, just speculating on an issue which I think is coming quite present as I get further in. For one, I adore the concept of a politics system, but whoa. It needs to be calmed down in aspects. Do you really think it's realistic for the WMC to implement groove tyres for 2017, to implement random grids into what is basically F1? Do you really... What I believe would work better is that completely leaving out tracks for the season should be removed from this, as they have a deal to make with Ernie and only Ernie, not the teams. Track layouts, but for that I believe it should be on who gets a higher vote. If the draw in if a draw instant what? If a draw instant no, rather than urging is option. However, let's bypass those elements because they aren't all too significant. Where the problems come is with major things like tyre changes and qualifying, etc. These, I believe, should have strategy group style, unanimous voting style, where no one can be against for it to go through. Alright. Where no one can be against for it to go through. At least this limits the crazy, even if it now makes it become basically impossible for it to go through. Pit crews need to be adjusted because apparently 40% of Ferrari's pit stops in one season. On balanced and balanced only to go, at least 5 seconds wrong is justified. Train them maybe, and of course a lot better. A lot of the better teams would already have a high quality in this area. Weather is somewhat debatable. The system now is fun to battle against, and is always a surprise throwing up challenge. But there's still room for improvement. Wet tyres? What wet tyres? Basically, please make more wet tyre running in this game. There are massive fluctuations with the weather, basically being sunny for 20 laps, then raining for 3, then sunny for the next 20. Not every race is in Britain, people. If rain comes normally, it should at least stay for a while, at least. Dry tyres should not be fastest when spray is coming off the cars. As soon as about 0.15 wet, we should get off that compound onto inters. Around 0.4 to 0.5 should be the crossover to wets, I think. Why don't the wet compounds last as long? Never understood it. LOL. Shouldn't they last at least as long as the hardest dry compound available, if not probably longer? A very slight issue I also have, not trying to poke holes, just trying to give every bit of help I can, is when the low temperature, the hardest compound just freezes, and you have to push to make them stay alive, therefore making their life pathetically short. Can we at least rein this quite nice effect in a little? As for raw extra content, I have no real complaints. Maybe a karting league where lots of driver talents are grown, hopefully with 5-star potential available now. And you can spend your rookie year, or rookie years, of managing there if you so please. And I wouldn't complain about GP4 or FR 3.5 league. Oh yes, nearly forgot. Another couple tracks, maybe a dense street track like Monaco, which aren't all used in the current WMC, but can be bought in it by Ernie, also used in lower tiers. And one very last thing, even if you saved 1.5 seconds to go and then click quit to main menu, off a career mode, it still says are you sure you want to quit without saving? My OCD absolutely kills me with this one. And will also help people who are new to the game, who are scared they'll lose their progress. This is a large chunk of writing, remember. It's mainly for the devs, who I hope can read this. Please take notes from a person who loves this game and wants it to become the very, very best it can be. If you've read this and you're thinking about buying the game, then just remember, these are only problems I've found after thousands of managerial laps completed. It's more than worth 25 odd quid, and I would definitely recommend it. And to completely drop the bomb on my exit, I'm gonna say one word. Multiplayer?